Venezuelan citizens go to the polls this Sunday to participate in a consultative referendum for the defense of Essequibo, Guyana. Palestinian authorities report hundreds of people killed after massive Israeli attacks on civilians in Gaza Strip. The East African Community Regional Force began its withdrawal for the Democratic Republic of the Congo on Sunday morning after Kinshasa deemed it ineffective and refused to renew its mandate. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Rosabal from the TeleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. Venezuelan citizens go to the polls this Sunday to participate in the consultative referendum for the defense of Essequibo, Guyana. According to the National Electoral Council, more than 20 million Venezuelans are eligible to vote, and over 28,000 polling stations are already operating with technical coverage, so the results are to be transmitted and made public quickly. During the day, citizens will be able to go to the polls with their current laminated identity card, even if expired. Also, more than 131,000 table witnesses have been accredited to help provide transparency into the electoral process, and the process is expected to be concluded before midnight. In the early hours of the morning, President Maduro exercised his right to vote and offered statements to the press. We go live to Venezuela, where the consultative referendum in the Guyana Essequibo is taking place. Our correspondent, Gladys Quesada, is there with the details. Good morning, Gladys.
Hello, Ara. Thanks for the time and the contact hearing from the South and for TeleSUR English. Yes, as you were saying, the colleges were opened at 6 a.m. That was the scheduled time, but people was lining up and queuing on early hours, even before the dusk, even before the sunrise. People was starting to queuing and starting to line to vote. Mostly elderly and working people that have to go elsewhere today on Sunday, but they came here to exercise their democratic duty and also their democratic right to vote. This is the Andres Bello College. This is a voting center that has 11 voting tables. And also, as you can see, here is the electoral protocol steps to be accomplished for every voter. There is the place where people must deliver their their identification cards and their documents. Also, the officials of the electoral authorities, they are present here to officiate these protocol steps. Then the people must go to a side part to cast their vote, and then they will put the ticket, the ballot and the ticket in the ballot box, so they have the evidence of their vote, and finally they can check up their participation with another electoral official. Also, as you were saying, there are over 20 million voters called to exercise their vote in the electoral roll. They are registered there, and the electoral authorities have been stressing the importance of presenting their identification cards. This is a process that has the previous experience of the simulation, the drill election of November 19th, where the participation tripled. They were saying that it was threefold the participation expected in that occasion, so today is also expected a large turnout. And in this occasion, people is coming in here in the Andres Bello. This is downtown Caracas. This is the center of the city, and this is one of the main colleges. This is one of the pilot colleges back in November 19th when we had the drill election and the simulation election. This is, moreover, the information so far this morning. As we know, colleges are going to be open until every voter that wants and comes to the centers casts their vote, and every voting center has all the voting tables functioning and running up for this voting day. This is the information. People is coming here in calm. I wanted to stress that because on early hours, people was lining up and queuing in calm with their families, the elderly. They are receiving all the assistance and all the support by the officials present here. Also, as we know, The president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro Moros, also cast his vote early morning at 6 a.m. and he was casting his vote in Fuerte Tiuna, and there is a college that he belongs to that jurisdiction and demarcation. In that occasion, he was addressing the people and he was stressing the importance of this referendum, of this electoral process, and let's hear what he said.
This is a process we have been dealing as Venezuelans, as citizens. We have not been here, we have not voted as opposition or right or left or white or black, but just we are both voting as Venezuela with just a single flag, with just a single feeling. And so all voters should feel the same, connected with the spirit of liberators of just one continent. That is Venezuela.
Yeah, so the head of state, he was also referring to other topics as he was addressing the people and addressing the press and the beginning of this journey and the beginning of this voting day. And he had another moment to refer to the stress of the need for this referendum and how he approached several times the authorities of Guyana, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, to ask them for cooperation and dialogue. Let's listen.
Guyanese president said he didn't think to have a talk with me. So it is a very warlike position of him. So he didn't care about the good neighbor policy of and about diplomacy. So I insisted several times. I have insisted several times, and he rejected my invitation. He tried to victimize himself. So the first effect of the powerful national unity is to see the president and to make him come back to dialogue. That's the first aspiration we have.
So these words, the words of the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro Moros, he was addressing the people and the press as he was casting his vote. That's the information on early morning. And as you know, Are, this is a process that had a previous occasion, a previous experience on November 19th. We were saying that. And this is a process that has overcome difficulties and attempts of intermission by other authorities, Western powers, and also the government of Guyana that tried to stop, to impede, to prevent this referendum from being carried on.
And regarding the drill that took place last week, what can be expected today in comparison to that drill?
Well, first of all, in that occasion, the authorities were saying that the turnout was the triple of what was expected. So in this occasion, that is expected also, a new large turnout, a new occasion of that. But also, let's say, this is an experience that has that precedent. So all the logistic adjustments, all the new preparations, as we were saying, the pilot centers were the only ones that opened in that occasion on November 19th for the drill election. But today, all the colleges, all the voting tables, all the voting centers are opened. So this is one result, a positive outcome, is the preparation of the authorities. Now they know who they must assess, which one are the centers that receive the most voters, and also how to conduct this with more efficient ways and with more expedite ways to have this voting day in the best way possible.
Thank you, Gladys Quesada, for reporting for us from the Venezuelan historic date of the consultative referendum in the Guyana Essequibo territory. And let's take a short break. But remember, you can join us on TikTok at TeleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, new dates, and more. Our study is coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back. Palestinian authorities report hundreds of people killed in mass Israeli attacks on civilians in the Gaza Strip. Israel Kudra, spokesman for the Ministry of Health in Gaza, said that the largest number of victims are women and children. According to the health ministry, since the end of the humanitarian pause, approximately 178 Palestinians have been reported killed by Israeli airstrikes in several areas of Gaza. Meanwhile, the health minister also reported that since October 7, over 15,000 Palestinians, including approximately 6,200 children and 4,000 women, were brutally killed by attacks conducted by the occupying Israeli forces. And we would like to Venezuela. Let's listen to some statements.
Se ha realizado en el día de hoy. Hemos estado viendo imágenes.
We have been seeing images of the polling stations, and there have been lots of queues in the polling stations of indigenous people in the state of Tamacuro and others. So we feel very glad about it. That we all Venezuelans are fulfilling with the call, complying with the call of the Venezuela. We have some information we want to share with you. It's very important. Could you put a fixed screen? Right. Well, we have here this information that we have been disclosing to all Venezuelans. All Venezuelans who have their IDs out of date can exercise their vote today. So remember that even if your IDs are out of date, you can cast your vote today. Also, voters, you that are seeing, you can vote to any polling station that you are. So the only candidate is the Venezuelan homeland, and you can be dressed. You can be dressed whatever you want. So it is a consultative referendum about a situation that we Venezuelans can want to sort out. The dispute about the Essequibo territory, in which all Venezuelans are going to participate to reach to a final decision on this issue. So, if any Venezuelan doesn't know their polling station, because, well, if to verify where you can vote, you have this number 2406 there, or number 2637 there. You will be a message will be sent to you with the polling station you should vote. So 2406 and 2637, you can just dial that, and there you place your ID, and in 24 seconds you will get an answer from the system and the location you are going to exercise the vote. So far we have, I repeat, for all Venezuelans who heard the statement, all polling stations members, there are active hundreds, 55,000 officials there, from the Amazon to the Guaira, and from the Essequibo to the Zulia state. Everything is working out perfectly, thanks to the whole team, thanks to our Bolivarian armed forces. 380,000 officials, authorities have been guarded this electoral process. From also the staff from the Ministry of Security to guarantee the safety and the safety of all Venezuelans. Till the last voter, for them to be able to express their absolute willingness. And we have international guests that are here today, so we are going to accredit them, and we are going to provide some data for you to disclose.
Electoral que hemos tenido hasta el día de hoy y que culmina pues en los próximos días, y hoy tendremos pues ese cronograma electoral, lo más importante que es el resultado del referéndum consultivo. Queremos felicitarlos y agradecerle profundamente a ustedes, embajadores, cónsul, representantes de medios de comunicación internacional, representante de
so the representatives of cultural, religious organizations that are here today to accompany us in this consultative referendum of our dear homeland, Venezuela. Let's applaud for them. So I want to disclose our affection to them. Mr. Ambassadors, we have 24 states and federal entities, 335 municipalities, 1,141 parishes, and 15,857 polling stations. So those are the data that in each municipality there's been a support for Venezuelan people to vote. So we Venezuelans are very proud of this of having the best electoral system in the world, as you have already confirmed from previous electoral events. So we manage very well the elections. One of the 5 powers that establishes the Venezuelan government, the executive power, the legislative power,
está el poder judicial,
the
que se ejerce a través del Tribunal
judicial
Supremo de
power,
Justicia, está el poder ciudadano
the
o poder
citizenship
moral, que se ejerce a
power
través
or popular
del
power,
Consejo
which is
Moral Republicano,
through
y
the
está el
Republican
poder electoral, que se
Council,
ejerce a
and
través
the
del Consejo
electoral power
Nacional
that
Electoral.
is
Tenemos también
exercised
la
through
cantidad
the
mesas electorales
National
y centros
Electoral
electorales
Council.
distribuidos a
So
nivel nacional, como ven en la pantalla.
we
Cada
have
uno de los
distributed
estados de Venezuela
polling
tiene
stations
una cantidad
to
de
the
centros
states
electorales y de mesas
according
electorales
to
que
the
hasta este
states.
momento está funcionando
So
ya
each of them are
de
working.
la
97
instalación de estos centros electorales y de las mesas
97% of them are
algunos
working.
reportes del pequeñito porcentaje que falta de centros electorales que están a una distancia importante.
Though the
y nos
third
siguen llegando
the
reportes que se lo vamos a dar
3%
en el
is
transcurso
from those
del día de hoy.
remote
Bueno,
polling
también
stations that are going to
observadores
begin just
internacionales y el pueblo de Venezuela
very early
conozca que
as well.
todos,
So the Venezuelan people must
absolutamente
know that
todos los partidos
all
políticos
parties, all
y las
political parties
organizaciones
and
políticas, movimientos políticos
political
de Venezuela
organizations and
dieron su
movements
adhesión a este referendo
have been
consultivo
supporting
del
this
día
consultative
de hoy.
referendum.
61 partidos políticos y
61
organizaciones
political
políticas
parties
se
and political
presentaron ante
organizations
el Consejo Nacional
have
Electoral
been
para mostrar su
attending
apoyo y su
the
adhesión
Electoral
a este
Council
referéndum que
to
estamos en
support
pleno
this
desarrollo
referendum,
en el
this
día de hoy.
ongoing
Todos,
referendum
absolutamente
today.
todos los partidos
All
políticos
political parties,
venezolanos
all
están
Venezuelan political parties
apoyando esta
are
jornada
backing
del día de hoy, esta jornada
this
de la parte de los
referendum
señores embajadores, pueblo de
for
Venezuela.
the
Aparte
homeland
de eso,
of Venezuela,
están todas las organizaciones de
besides
nuestro país,
all national
empresariales,
organizations,
religiosas,
entrepreneurs,
filosóficas,
religious
culturales,
ones,
deportivas,
cultural ones,
consejos comunales,
the sports ones, the
comunas,
communities,
todo el pueblo
the
de
communes,
Venezuela
all
ha
Venezuelan
pasado
people
y se ha adherido a este referéndum
have been
consultivo que
participating
está en pleno
to
desarrollo
this
en el día
active
de hoy,
referendum
bien limpio,
that
bien
is going on
bonito.
today.
Está esta jornada, una fiesta electoral.
It is
Sentimos
an
profundamente
electoral
orgullosos
party. We are
del pueblo
feeling very proud
venezolano y aquí se ha dado una
of
unión.
Venezuelan people.
Todos, absolutamente todo el pueblo de Venezuela unido,
There,
sin
we have
importarle
shown
color político,
we are
religión,
united,
filosofía,
no matter philosophy,
cultura, si vive en un
religion,
barrio, en una sabana,
culture,
en una montaña, en una
politics.
urbanización, todos estamos
So
unidos
all
para defender nuestra
all
querida
Venezuelans
patria,
are united
Venezuela,
to
en
defend
esta jornada
our
de
Venezuela,
día de hoy.
Venezuelan, the
Jornada que
homeland.
estuvimos esperando durante
So we have been
45 días cuando se
expecting this
presentó
moment
el cronograma
for 45
electoral.
days
Ese momento quizás
when
se veía como
the
lejos,
electoral
pero
program
hoy,
was
3
presented.
de
But
diciembre,
today, on
podemos decir
December
con mucha
3rd,
satisfacción
we
a
are
esta hora que
very
todo
satisfied
está
that
servido. Solamente
everything is
falta
working
un
out.
clic para que podamos culminar esta jornada
So it
en la
is
noche de hoy con el éxito
just
todo el pueblo
we
de Venezuela. Hombres, mujeres,
expect
niños,
to complete
que han
this
participado
referendum
también
very
en
successfully.
simulacros en las
Even
escuelas,
children
en
have
los
been
liceos,
participated in
que
schools, high
generalmente se hace
schools.
siempre en las contiendas electorales, pero
Generally, we have
sabiendo
been
pues, que esto no es
doing
una contienda
so in
electoral, sino un
electoral
referéndum, también niños,
campaigns. So, but
bachilleres,
children
su mayoría
and
estudiantes
high school
universitarios,
students, university
también hicieron
students
su
have
simulacro,
have
igual
been
que nosotros,
doing
señores
their drill.
embajadores,
Mr.
representantes
Ambassadors,
internacionales. Se
international
hizo un
representatives,
simulacro la
there
semana
have
pasada,
been a
donde
drill last
participó
week
masivamente
in
el
which
pueblo
all
de
Venezuelan
Venezuela.
people participated.
Estamos
We are, at this moment, Vice President stood out that 97% of polling stations are working, and we are aware that some information is missing from all other centers that from other stations that are far away from the capital. There have been certain technical problems there, but there's a picture at the Amazons and Delta Macuro near the Guyana Essequibo, at the Essequibo. There are thousands of indigenous people are defending their homeland, participating in these elections, participating in the polling stations of some at some schools, and some governors and mayors are just monitoring this process. This is an electoral party. People are going to vote very proud and very happy to participate in this process we are experiencing today, as I would say, like public officials and journalists that have been making an analysis of this, that our motivation is just unprecedented. And so I would say to all people of Venezuela, from their homes, that go to vote on December 3rd. We Venezuelans are united for the defense of the Essequibo. So these are the data. We are going to continue providing further data how this electoral process is going on. So, but the whole process is just organized, and so we will be updating you. Rectors, leaders are going to vote as well. And well, God blessed our dear Venezuela's homeland. All these decisions that we have been disclosing to you, been broadcasted, have been approved by the National Electoral System by unanimity. The President Carlos Quinteros and Vice President and Rector Hill, President of the Commission Anne Rogal, President of the Political Participation Commission, and Dr. Leonel Pari, and Rector Conrado Perez, and Rector Paula Rosa Hernandez, Dr. and Rector Antonieta Estefano, and Rector Ana Julia Quillos, and Rector Gustavo Vizcaíno Gil, and Rector Fabio Francisco Garcés, and Dr. Julio Ramirez, and the General Secretary of the National Electoral Council. Those are decisions taken by unanimity. This is a trustworthy, cutting-edge system supported by cutting-edge technology, and we counted on the active participation of Venezuelans. Thank you very much to all. We are going to accredit our international guests, and thanks for accompanying us today. So we are going to move across the country, and the international press is going to do the same. And thank you very much, and bless you all, and congrats for the Venezuelan people. So,
destacaba que 61 organizaciones con fines políticos se han sumado a este referéndum consultivo y también saludaba a los veedores.
And we were listening to the statements of the authority of the National Electoral Council that stated that Venezuela today is united and urged all people to go to the polls with their identification cards, even if they are expired. Moreover, he stated that the polls are being protected in order to guarantee the security. More breaking news coming up on the consultative referendum in Venezuela. And we have come to the end of this news brief, but before saying goodbye, we want to thank our Caribbean audience, especially the audience of Trinidad and Tobago. We are pleased to share our newscasts and contribute to provide an alternative news source of the latest world events. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net, and join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Ana Rosabal. Thank you for watching.